I'll admit I had no idea this even existed until recently. A fake army, an entire unit of painters, sound engineers, radio actors, and Broadway costume artists deployed into World War II, not to fight, but to fool. Their job, to mislead German forces so convincingly that they'd move their troops to the wrong place, buying time, saving lives, and opening the path for Allied success. This wasn't a movie set. This was real, and it was top secret for 50 years. So let me show you what made the Ghost Army one of the most fascinating and gutsiest operations in modern history. What did the Ghost Army actually do? The 23rd Headquarters Special Troops, known later as the Ghost Army, was made up of just over 1,100 men, but their mission was to appear like 30,000, and yes, they actually pulled it off. They built entire fake camps, canvas tanks, rubber airplanes, inflatable artillery, but it wasn't just props. They thought about everything. Yes, they painted the grass. They literally brushed stripes onto fields to make it look like tanks had torn through. They threw trash everywhere, mess kits, cigarette butts, fake footprints, anything to simulate human activity. They even hung laundry on clotheslines, socks, uniforms, jackets, giving aerial scouts the impression of a camp brimming with soldiers. And they didn't just set up these illusions. They rehearsed them, practiced them, and then moved them constantly to throw off German intelligence. They'd load up in trucks, change their insignia, change their uniform patches, and drive around again in circles over and over, pretending to be multiple different divisions. And they weren't alone. A combat unit was secretly assigned to protect them, men who carried real weapons and would return fire if needed. These were the true guardians of the illusion, making the deception look authentic, even under threat. Segment 2. Audio deception and Morse code magic. Now, sound was another battlefield entirely. The Ghost Army had a subunit from the 3032nd Signal Service Company that specialized in audio illusion. Using massive speakers mounted on tanks, they'd play pre-recorded battle sounds, tank movements, construction noises, voices shouting in different accents so loud it could be heard 15 miles away. And yes, they even rehearsed the timing. A truck would roll in. The sound would play of tanks setting up, then silence, then construction sounds, then engine rumbles, making it feel like a full division was preparing to attack. Radio deception was just as detailed, a unit trained to mimic Morse code operators in the exact handwriting of real units. Each telegraph operator has a rhythm, a personality, like a fingerprint, so they practice tapping into those unique cadences to throw off German interceptors. And here's the part most people miss. Radio impersonators, men would study German-monitored Allied broadcasts, memorizing the speech patterns, pauses, and even the mistakes of U.S. broadcasters. Then they'd replicate it on air, sending out phony orders or fake activity logs, all in the voice and style of someone the Germans already knew. It wasn't just sound, it was theater. What do you think about that? A soldier with a paintbrush instead of a gun? A tank made of rubber? A sound crew playing fake war? It sounds like something out of a film, but it was real. And it worked. Segment 3. 5 key operations that turned the tide. These weren't random pranks. Each act of deception helped the Allies with critical ground. Number 1. Operation Brest. August of 1944. The Ghost Army distracted German forces so that the real troops could capture the French port of Brest, which was vital for supplies. Their fake division mimicked preparations from an entirely different direction, drawing defenses away. 2. Operation Metz. September of 1944. Near Metz, they staged a fake bridge construction to lure the Germans into thinking the Allies would cross the Moselle River elsewhere. The actual crossing was quieter, faster, and met with less resistance. Operation Luxembourg, December of 1944. Amid the Battle of the Bulge, they pretended to be reinforcements rushing to the front, causing German divisions to pause and reposition in defense of a ghost unit that wasn't there. Operation Koblenz, March of 1945. In Koblenz, Germany, the Ghost Army imitated the 6th Armored Division, leading German intelligence to believe the U.S. was planning an assault north of the actual crossing point, buying time for real forces to reposition south. 5. Operation Viersen, March of 1945, a part of Operation Elephant. In the most elaborate mission of all, the Ghost Army posed as the Ninth Army, making it look like a major attack was imminent in Viersen, west of the Rhine River. This pulled enemy forces away from Wesel, where the real Rhine crossing was set to begin. This was Operation Elephant, the final deception before the Allies launched their real history-making crossing of the Rhine. Some say the Ghost Army saved 15,000 to 30,000 lives, and honestly, I believe it. Because when you break down what they actually did, the paint, the rubber tanks, the sound crews, the fake radios, the 24-hour schedule of moving illusions, there is no doubt. They didn't just serve, they performed, and their performance saved lives. If you like this story and want to hear more like it, subscribe to the channel, give it a like, and stay tuned. There's a lot more history hiding in plain sight.